Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your MLW, Fusion, Ring of Honor, NXT, and AEW Dynamite and Dark results. AEW Executive Vice President Cody Rhodes posted on social media that he will be giving a pretty cool announcement on the show from last night called Road 2. Find out what it was. Cody did give a hint that it's not about a video game, but it's something that fans have been clamoring for. He also shared that he worked with Tony Schiavone for AEW Dark earlier in the day. His full tweet was, got to work with my guy at Tony Schiavone 24 today and to boost some more for AEW Dark. Also, pretty cool announcement coming to you guys tomorrow on Road 2. Hint, it's not the video game, but it may be the other thing fans have been clamoring for. As noted yesterday, on Tuesday, Cody made it clear that he wouldn't be Lance Archer's opponent for his in-ring debut for this coming Wednesday, last night's episode of Dynamite. The show will be taking place from Daily's Place to Jacksonville, in Jacksonville. Road 2 will be available to watch on AEW's official YouTube channels. As I watched AEW Dynamite, he didn't mention nothing about Road 2. Well, MLW Fusion episode number 103 can be found in this link. Apparently, they're still filming. NJPW has just announced that their New Zealand dojo tryouts have been postponed due to the coronavirus pandemic. The tryouts were scheduled for May 9th and 10th. As a result of the coronavirus, the promotion had to cancel several events like their entire New Japan Cup tour and recently both Sakura Genesis and Road to Dontaku events. Fans, though, can keep up with the New Japan through their Together project that is available on NJPW World. NJPW has also recently added a bunch of videos on YouTube from their New Beginning USA tour that were taped back in January. On this past Wednesday's last week's AEW Dynamite, it was announced that Lanch Archer will make his in-ring debut this week on the show from Daily's Place in Jacksonville. Cody filled in as a special guest commentator and revealed Archer would indeed get in the ring, but didn't answer who his opponent was. Archer's advisor, Jake the Snake Roberts, made it clear he and Archer are coming for Cody and don't appreciate being ignored. No one in AEW Wrestling is ready, especially at Cody Rhodes, Archer commented earlier in the day on Twitter. Unfortunately for Archer and Roberts, Cody isn't interested at the moment, noting Archer needs to get some more matches under his belt before he's considered an option. There's quite a few AEW wrestlers that wrestle for Inspire Pro that has not done any matches for 3 weeks since the coronavirus pandemic. I appreciate Lance and his skill set, Cody commented on Twitter. AEW is glad to have him. I'm not interested in social media angles though. He will debut this week, but not against me. He has zero record with AEW. Me wrestling him does a disservice to others climbing into the top 5. Maybe down the road. Didn't he just do Stone Cold gimmick for his show? See you around on the Broken Skull Challenge? See you down the road. Nick Jackson announced earlier this week, of his 3rd child. That's why he's been out of action. And named him Michael Massey. Nick also has a daughter, Allison, and another son, Gregory. And you can see the picture of the baby at this link. On the latest Being the Elite episode, at this link, Nick joked that if his son ends up getting into wrestling, his ring name will be Michael Jackson. Nick's current storyline in AEW is that he's out indefinitely after getting ambushed backstage by the Inner Circle a couple of weeks back. Nick was removed from the upcoming Blood and Guts match between the Elite and the Inner Circle, and Matt Hardy was his replacement. Being the Elite, episode called Life at Home can be found on this link. The other one was called Into the Unknown. I guess that one was taken from a Star Trek episode. AEW announced their first ever TNT Championship tournament to begin next week and accumulate at the Double or Nothing 2020 pay-per-view. The 8-man tournament begins next Wednesday, April 8th, during the AEW Dynamite on TNT. The winner of the singles elimination tournament will receive the TNT Championship belt after the live finals at Double or Nothing on Saturday, May 23rd in Las Vegas, if it still happens. It's been a privilege working with Kevin Riley and TNT to bring fans the best live wrestling show week after week on AEW Dynamite, especially during these tumultuous times, said AEW President and CEO Tony Khan in the official announcement. I'm glad we're now able to announce the TNT Championship. The first ever title holder will be determined by an unforgettable tournament the fans will not want to miss, and that our wrestlers will be desperate to win. I'm excited for the announcement of the full bracket live on Dynamite this week, and it's only fitting that the storied history in the wrestling business that are all associated with TNT. The bracket for the tournament will be revealed on Dynamite, and the first matches will begin the following week. They supposedly posted half of the bracket, and I didn't get it until they actually showed the actual Dynamite and the remaining 4 members. Last Wednesday's AEW Dynamite saw Broken Matt Hardy stun former WWE World Champion Chris Jericho by teleporting throughout Jacksonville's empty arena prior to their headlining competition. Today, on Tuesday, the promotion has tweeted about their explanation as to how Hardy was able to perform such a stunt, an aerial assault of drones led by Hardy's main piece of hardware, Vanguard 1. The company writes, Teleportation? Of course not. It was merely a fleet of aerial assault drones led by Vanguard 1, projecting an array of images of #broken at Matt Hardy brand to confuse at Chris Jericho Fozzy, which hastened the maker of Pain's descent into madness during last week's AEW Dynamite. Chris Jericho and Matt Hardy's final segment has been viewed over 1 million times on the AEW YouTube channel. AEW Dark episode 26 can be found in this link. Yeah, the unspoilers that were from last week. Former Impact Knockouts champion ODB has her ODB's meet and greet food truck company back open and running after her original food truck caught fire back in September. Noted back in September 7th how ODB revealed in an Instagram post how her food truck caught fire in the night and was burning when she woke up in the next morning. Impact Wrestling later held ODB appreciation tapings earlier in November from New York City. Proceeds going to her food truck. Hall of Famer Mick Foley also helped ODB raise $9,500 from her truck during one of his one-man shows. Other wrestlers are also helped raise money for ODB. Also had an Indigo fundraising campaign, which currently shows $32,145 raised out of a $50,000 goal. ODB discussed the incident when speaking to Wrestling Inc. at this link, which is the weekly podcast. And that podcast was back in October. As seen in the new Instagram, on the photos from there for you, ODB has a new look for her Bam Slamming barbecue truck, and she's riding around Minnesota serving hungry fans after doing a soft open last weekend. But she wrote last weekend, I'm open, bees, B word. Hashtag hook up with ODB. Hashtag MN Food Truck. Hashtag Food Trucks. Hashtag Food Truckers. Hashtag Food Truck Nation. The former Impact Knockout Champion, Tag Team Champion, also noted how she sold out of the product after doing the Soft Open Friday. She wrote, "Thank you all for supporting my new food truck. I sold out today. I'll be cruising around town all next week in Minnesota. Hashtag Food Trucks, hashtag Food Truck Nation, hashtag Food Truckers, hashtag hooking up with ODB, hashtag MN Food Trucks, hashtag MN Foodie." ODB also wrote about an experience she had when she parked the truck in Chaplin, Minnesota earlier in the week, a city where she's worked as a bartender for the past 6 years. She wrote, "So I had a little visit with the city of Champlin, where I parked, and where I've been bartending in the last 6 years. They told me they don't allow food trucks in Champlin, but they were kind enough to let me stay for the day. That leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Thanks, city of Champlin. Hashtag food trucks, hashtag food truckers, hashtag food MN food trucks, hashtag hooking up with ODB." Hangman Page has a fundraiser going now, as he originally was coming out with a t-shirt called Cowboy S. But Page had felt bad to ask people for money during this our current coronavirus situation. But Page instead decided to have his royalties that he makes from the shirt will be going towards the United Way of Greater Greensboro Virus Relief Fund. And you can find out a picture of the shirt there. Cowboy S. blah, 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 blah. Hey, I was honestly really excited about this shirt, but I feel like an a-hole asking for you to buy something right now. And at the risk of sounding like I'm fishing for goodwill, know that I'll be donating these royalties to at United Way GSO Virus Relief Fund. AEW Dark episode number 27 this week. I did last week's earlier. The 8-man TNT Championship Tournament will get started on tonight's show on Dynamite. Last night's show to determine the inaugural TNT champion. Yesterday on Tuesday, AEW announced the first 2 matches. Yeah, that's where I don't watch AEW Dark. First match was advertised: Cody Rhodes versus Shawn Spears, and Darby Allin versus Sammy Guevara. Well, those two were in tag team matches on AEW Dynamite, as you will hear later on in this video. On Dynamite, the other side of the bracket were revealed as Kip Sabian versus Dustin Rhodes, and also Lanch Archer versus Colt Cabana. Well, I was picking before I even knew the matches. I was picking Matt Hardy, Kenny Omega, of course Cody himself, and one other person, because they had a question on Twitter, and I answered and got no response from that. As I picked for my final 4, I didn't give them in the finals, but I was picking for competition reasons, Matt Hardy versus Kenny Omega. But neither one of those two are in it, so I was wrong. Cody versus Spears takes place next week. In 2 weeks, it will be Cabana versus Archer. The finals are scheduled to take place at Double or Nothing on May 23rd in Las Vegas. And here's your Dynamite results. Couple wrestlers are at ringside, naming Kip Sabian, Jimmy Havoc, Gun Club, Britt Baker, and Penelope Ford, all on one side. Cody with his dog Pharaoh joined in with Tony Schiavone at commentary. I didn't recognize his voice on commentary. It sounded like a little boy's voice. Dasha is handling ring announcing. I wonder if that's Dasha Fuentes from WWE, who's now in AEW. Don't know. Hikaru Shida in action tonight. From last night, that is the other TNT Championship Tournament. Matches are announced: Kip Sabian versus Dustin Rhodes, Lanch Archer versus Colt Cabana, tournament will get going next week. Your first match, Kenny Omega versus Trent. Trent, that's Chucky T. No, that's Trent. Trent Beretta with Chucky T and Orange Cassidy in his corner. Trent taking control early on part of the match. Double knees drop on to Trent. Big strike. Kenny returns fire. Drops Trent. Kick to the back. And then bunch of stomps. Omega charges into the corner. Eats a back elbow. Trent with a standing double stomp. And Omega heads out to the floor. Trent with a big second rope moonsault to the floor. Best friends with a big hug. After they actually started the social distance. Handshake. Elbow bang. Omega sneaks back into the ring. Hits a flip over the top rope on all three guys. At AEW Wrestling, at Trinity Lux, pulling out all the stops against at Kenny Omega Man X. Omega with a huge wants a hug from Orange, and he was going to do it, but Taylor pulls him away. Omega plays Trent in the middle of the ring, covers for a 2 count. Omega with a backbreaker, stomp to the chest, and continues to control the pace. Trent stomps on Omega's recently injured hand, and continues to work on it. Trent stomps on the hand, some more on the apron. Looks to drive the knee, but Omega moves. Omega with a suplex out on the floor. At AEW Wrestling, and Trinity Lux attacking the already injured hand of Kenny Omega Man X. The two brawl on the outside. Omega throws Trent spine first into a building post. Back in the ring, Omega with a neck breaker over the knee. Pins for a 2 count. Trent recovers and hits a tornado DDT. Running elbow in the corner. Chop to the back. Hits a nice sliding German suplex. Back to the right. The two chop away at each other with 5 minutes left in the match. Oh yeah, they gave it a 20-minute time limit. Omega with a big V trigger. Trent lands a power driver. Goes for the cover. Only a 2 count. Trent misses a knee strike. Goes for another tornado DDT. Nope. Omega with a big snap dragon suplex. AEW on TNT says this impact on hashtag Kenny Omega Man X. Yikes. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. Omega looks for another suplex. Trent lands some big back elbows and a lariat. Omega hits a powerbomb. Big trigger lands. 3 minutes remain in the match. Both players are up on the apron. Trent with a few chops. Omega sends him into the ring. Omega up top. Trent goes and hits the overhead wheelie suplex. Big knees by Trent. Covering for a 2 count. Omega landed pretty rough on the shoulder after the top rope suplex. 1 minute left. Omega reverses the move. Hits a V trigger. One wing angle for the 1, 2, 3. After the match, Omega helps Trent up and they shake hands. Recap of Matt Hardy and Chris Jericho's confrontation for last week. Victory for Hikaru Shida, showing multiple clips from her previous matches. The match is up next. Hikaru Shida versus a debuting Anna Jay. Real tall blonde. I guess she's about 6'1", 6'2". Tall for a blonde there. In wrestling, the two tie up, go right to the ropes. Shida with a clean break. They do it again. Jay breaks clean, but then whips her hair at Shida and walks away. Shida with a shoulder tackle. Each wrestler with a reversal. Jay hits a drop kick. Looks for an explosive suplex, but Shida blocks it. Jay grabs Shida by the hair. Kicks to the stomach, but then eats a tilt-the-world backbreaker. Cassidy and Taylor are still ringside throughout the show. Britt Baker talking some trash smack to Shida. Shida approaches her, and Baker tells her 6 feet of distance. Now the social distance. A TD underscore wrestling. Here we go. As Shida Hikaru. Shida heads to the back to the ring. Takes a couple of shots. Shida returns the favor. Shida asking for some more shots. Shida lands a big elbow. Yeah, come on, bring it. Dropping her opponent. Jay with a heel kick. Another kick to the hamstring. Flipping neckbreaker. Covers for a 2 count. Jay tries for another kick. Block, rolls up Shida. 2 count. Tries for a backside. 2 count. Shida with a kick. No, schoolboy. For a 2 count. But Shida goes right back into a submission. Jay gets the ropes quickly though, to escape. Shida with a suplex, covers for a 2 count. Big knee to the back of the head. Talking over, covers, and that'll do it. Winner of the match, Hikaru Shida. A wrestling says, big tilt-the-world backbreaker by Sheila Hikaru onto at Anna Marie J. Yeah, you can follow her on Twitter at that link. After the match, Baker talking more trash to Sheeta while eating a sandwich. Sheeta kicks a barricade. Baker now has a shoe in the other hand to keep Sheeta away. Kip Sabian takes a selfie when the two are jawing. Sheeta heads over to the other side to gather her entrance gear and heads to the back. Last week, John Moxley attacked Jake Hager. Last night on AEW Dark, Jake returned the favor. As I showed highlights of that. Jake Hager says Moxley is a fool if he thinks he can compete with Hager. Jake says Moxley holding the title doesn't scare him at all. Moxley says he's pissed off and he knows a lot of people want the title. He realizes he has a big target on his back and he's pissed because others want to take the title away from him. Chris Jericho says Moxley talks about everything he does it for the fans. Unlike the Inner Circle, they do everything for themselves. Moxley says he knows Hager well, isn't afraid of him, but understands the skills that Hager possesses. Hager knows Moxley isn't as strong as him and isn't as ruthless as he is. Sammy Guevara knows that Hager is undefeated in MMA and in AEW. Moxley says he knows Inner Circle wants the title back, so Moxley went after Hager since he was most likely coming for him anyways. Jericho says he has a rematch coming against Moxley, but he's letting Hager do his thing. Jericho says Inner Circle isn't like the Elite, jigging on the job, hitting others with their finishers. They win championships. It will be John Moxley defending his title against Jake Hager in an empty arena, no holds barred match in 2 weeks. Colt Cabana joins Tony Schiavone on commentary. He will face Lanch in the first round of the upcoming TNT Championship tournament. So now you got supposedly three guys on commentary. Jake Roberts says his client, Lanch is about to come out and destroy whatever AEW has cooked up. Roberts says AEW is playing games, and they don't play games. Roberts tells Cody he might be smarter than he thought and is actually afraid. Or maybe it's Brandy Rose telling him not to get in the ring. She seems like the one who wears the pants. So he says, what are they doing? Still in the Undertaker lines? And AJ Styles? Lanch versus Marco Stunt. Yeah, there's going to be some more stealing of lines and actions on the show. On the show. Lanch versus Marco Stunt. That's who his opponent is. Yeah, the Runt. Archer hits in the ring. Immediately takes out the ringside doctor. Stunt gets right in Archer's face as he gets in the ring and immediately drops. Archer sends him into the corner and then punches his opponent. Archer asks for Stunt to hit him. He does a couple of times. Archer then knocks him to the mat with one punch. He then hits a follow-away suplex, sending Stunt across the ring. Archer with a massive slam. Also a modified choke slam. AEW on TNT. Marco's fighting back. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. Stunt ends up getting out to the floor. Archer follows. Stunt ducks a lariat. Hits a suicide dive. Archer back in the ring. Looks for a choke slam. But Stunt flips out of it. Hits an enziguri and a drop kick in the corner. Stunt hits the ropes, but Archer pounces him out to the floor. Big choke slam. Goes for the cover. But then picks Stunt up off the mat. Archer then lands his finisher. Blackout, covers for the 3 count. Lanch Archer wins by pinfall. After the match, Archer goes up the ramp, comes right back. Sends Stunt into the crowd, a couple of other wrestlers. And then Archer leaves the building. At AEW Wrestling, are you weak? Right now, you look weak to me. Mr. Evan Brodie, as he's seen in this next segment. Brodie Lee is in a suit, mcmahon style, and at a table with other Dark Order followers looking on. Lee says during these scary and unprecedented times, he understands how we feel. Lee says at one point he was scared and beaten down, but no longer. He has one minion stand, and he says, "Thank you, Mr. Lee." Lee says, "It's Mr. Brodie." He then says, "Sorry, Exalted One." Lee angrily says, "It's Mr. Brodie." Another minion yawns. Lee sits and gets it in the guy's face. Lee asks if there's something going on at home to make the person yawn. Lee says tiredness shows weakness, and he can't have that in these doors. Lee tells him to never yawn in his presence again. He then boots the guy out of the room. The Natural Nightmares with Brandy Rhodes versus unknown members as they get new names for the Dark Order minions, 8 and 9. What do they think they are? Aces and eights? From Impact Wrestling? All Elite Wrestling on TNT says at AEW on TNT, now entering the ring, 8 and 9. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. Hashtag Join Dark Order. This was a squash match for Dustin Rhodes and QT Marshall. Double Team Flapjack finishes off one of the minions for the victory. At AEW on TNT, at Dustin Rhodes showing Dark Order should have probably sent 1 through 7 too. At hashtag AEW Dynamite. Winners of the match, National Nightmare by pinfall. At TD_Wrestling, a little leadership by example from Mr. at this Brodie Lee. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. Hashtag AEW on TNT. That's for the next segment. After the match, Brodie Lee heads out to the ring. Natural Nightmares give him a look, but he ends up going into the ring, hits a big powerbomb on one of the minions. He looks over at the other one, who slinks to the corner. Lee hits in the back. Yeah, the one that was yawning in the back. That's who we got. Did that too. AEW Wrestling, I Am Jericho extends a second invitation to hashtag Vanguard 1 to join the hashtag Inner Circle. It didn't go according to plan. Chris Jericho hanging out in a jacuzzi at home. Says today is a holiday, April Fool's Day, and he's never seen a bunch of fools like the Elite. He then runs down the entire group, making fun of each guy, including Matt Hardy. From the skies, down comes Vanguard 1. Jericho says once things get back to normal, they will still have to face Inner Circle in a blood and guts match. Jericho finally hears Vanguard 1. Jericho says he wanted to apologize for what he did to it last week. Jericho still wants Vanguard 1 in the Inner Circle and offers up a tiny t-shirt. He looks at it. He hooks it to Vanguard, but the drone flies away. Jericho throws his bottle of bubbly at it, then releases his little miniature dogs, Chihuahua, a Yorkie, a Poodle, and some other small dogs, yelling, "I'm gonna get you." Commentary announces Cody versus Shawn Spears on next week's show. In 2 weeks, Colt Cabana versus Lanch Archer. Both are TNT Championship Tournament matches. AEW Wrestling injury update. Hashtag Nick Jackson and hashtag Matt Jackson talk candidly about the brutal attack. What happened in Salt Lake City? By the hashtag Inner Circle on to Nick Jackson. And the segment can be seen at this link, and they talk about Nick's injury. Cody and Darby Allin versus Shawn Spears and Sammy Guevara. Cody and Spears get things going. Side headlock on Cody. But Cody gets control of the match. Allin tags in. Hits a double axe handle off the top rope. Guevara tags in. But he was vlogging and tagged Spears right back in. Yeah, on his cell phone. Doing videos and what have you. Guevara then goes over to Rhodes and to Brandy and asks for a kiss. She then takes his camera and walks off with it. Allin hits a big tackle, sending Guevara into the barricade. AEW Wrestling, nope, and Sammy Guevara. Cody tags in, hits Guevara with an uppercut. Both he and Allin look for dives and eventually hits stereo suicide dives. Allin and Guevara end up on the floor. Allin sent into the barricade. Then the apron covers for a 2 count. Guevara with a double stomp to the shoulder, and Spears tags in. Big chop in the corner. Guevara makes a bet that Spears can't hold Allin up in the air for 10 seconds. Well, both guys are tossing money in the ring, in their corner. And he does it. All the money's still on in the ring. Guevara said double or nothing for 15 seconds. Guevara gets in there and he goes for it. He ends up doing it too. Covers for a 2 count. Spears says he can do it for 20 seconds for more money. Spears goes for it, but All In with the quick roll up. Spears tries for it again. All In knees him in the head and hits a suplex of his own. AEW Wrestling and Samuel Guevara with a vicious attack on the outside to Darby Allin. All In able to find a window and tags in Cody. Cody with a flurry of attacks ends up with a spinning power slam, covers for a 2 count. Cody with a weight belt tosses it to Brandy. He teased tossing it to the other wrestlers that were there. Cody with a sharpshooter has to release and then puts Spears in the figure 4. As Spears came in, he's seen it. Guevara with a running moonsault to break that up. Guevara with a springboard cutter attempt. Nope, Cody hits the crossroads. Spears from behind throws Cody over the barricade. The heels start stomping away on Cody on the outside. All in with a suicide dive on Spears. And TD_Wrestling said that Cody Rhodes is on fire. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. Hashtag AEW TNT. Back from a commercial. Ackson is back in the ring with Guevara and Spears controlling Cody. Spears tries for a 10 punch in the corner. Cody slips under and throws a punch for himself. They trade shots in the middle of the ring. Cody with a moonsault off the top rope and hits Spears. All in tags in. Hits a shotgun drop kick off the top rope on both guys. Running elbows on both guys in the corner. Hits a second rope coffin drop. Spears accidentally knocks Guevara out of the ring. Then ends up on the floor himself. All in with a suicide dive on Guevara. Tries for a one-on spear. But is caught in midair and thrown into a barricade. At AEW on TNT said that Cody Rhodes. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. Guevara with a missile drop kick from the apron on All In. Cody leaps and takes out both guys. Spears with a Death Valley driver on Cody. On the floor, Cody gets getting beat up. All In then climbs the building pole and hits a massive coffin drop on both opponents. He throws Spears back in the ring, hits up top, but Guevara follows him up and throws him down towards the barricade. Cody goes up and hits a reverse suplex on Guevara. Spears then lands a frog splash on Cody. Spears calls for a chair from Guevara. He looks to whack Cody. All In takes it. Guevara then takes it from him. Spears then rolls up. All In for the win. AEW Wrestling says the coffin drop from up high. Winners of the match, Shawn Spears and Sammy Guevara by pinfall. After the match, Cody tries to help All In up. He doesn't want it though. Thinking it's another wrestler. Cody keeps trying, but All In clocks Cody and then leaves the ring. He didn't hesitate in hitting him. Just exits the ring. And that concludes your AEW Dynamite results. That was your main event. NXT opens up from the USA Network with a video package to hype NXT North American Championship match. Keith Lee versus Dominic Dijakovic versus can't think of his name. You'll get to know at the end. Live from the taped NXT Arena from Full Sail University in Winter Park, Florida. Tom Phillips welcomes us. He's joined in by Sam Roberts. Velveteen Dream versus Bobby Fish. First match. We go right to the ring. First comes Velveteen Dream as Greg Hamilton does the ring introductions. Out next is Bobby Fish of the Undisputed Era. Fish talks some trash on his way to the ring as Dream stares him down. The bell rings and they lock up, trading holds. Fish takes Dream down, but gets kicked away. They turn to each other and have words. Testing each other. Fish with a kick to the leg. More back and forth now. Dream keeps knocking Fish down with the right hand. Dream with a big shot as Fish comes bouncing off the ropes. Dream with another takedown and a knee drop for a 2 count. Fish turns it around and goes for a sleeper, but Dream resists. Fish unloads and drops Fish with kicks. Dream ends up going to the floor for a breather. Fish follows and Dream goes back in, sliding back out and taunting Fish. Dream gets the upper hand and comes off the top rope with a double axe handle. Dream mounts more offense, rocking Fish into the corner. Dream with more rights in the corner. Fish runs into Boots in the corner. Dream drops him with a super kick. Dream goes back to the top for the purple Rainmaker, but Fish rolls to the floor as Dream poses. That was not a super kick. That was, as I was watching it, you call that a super kick. That's the same move that Aleister Black does. The Black Mass. A spinning back round kick. Dream leaps to the floor instead, taking Fish down with another axe handle. Dream brings Fish back in the ring, rolls right back out of the ring to regroup. Dream approaches and Fish rams him back into the barrier. We got a commercial with Fish in control. I thought boats were supposed to be in control of fish. And your fish hooks. Never mind, it's a wrestling match. Back from the break, we get a WW24 preview for a Hall of Famer, Edge's new episode. Back and forth in the ring, Fish works Dream over and drops him. Fish stomps on Dream and launches himself in from the apron with a senton. Dream kicks out at 2. Dream clutches his knee as we go back to commercial. Back from the break, Fish has Dream in an ankle lock. Dream goes to the bottom rope, and the referee warns Fish to break it. Fish goes right back to work on the leg. Dream fights off of another sleeper attempt. Dream scoots Fish for a Dream Valley driver, but Fish holds on to the top rope and resists. Fish applies a sleeper hold now, but Dream quickly breaks it. They tangle some more, and Dream nails the DVD in the middle of the ring for the pin and the win. Dream Valley driver. Death Valley driver, same thing. Winning the match, Velveteen Dream. After the match, Dream's music hits, and as Tom says, he is now one step closer to a title shot from NXT champion Adam Cole, who suggested this match. Dream has his arm raised, and he stands tall as we go to replays. Dream takes the mic and addresses Cole, telling him to put his video games down because this is real. Dream goes on and says the experience is coming for Cole. Dream tells Cole to play hard, but he's about to get worked harder than ever before, courtesy of the Dream. Dream snaps his finger, and his music starts back up to end the segment. We see how Malcolm Bivens had Saurav Gurjar and Rinku Singh attack NXT champion Matt Riddle last week, sending a message to Riddle and his partner, who was away in the UK, Pete Dunne. Mackenzie Mitchell interviews Bivens, and he corrects her to say that Singh and Gurjar are his associates. Bivens is asked what message he was sending to Riddle. Dunne and the fans. Bivens talks about how, as a business manager, he's been looking around the world for the biggest and baddest tag team. He's found them, Rinku and Saurav. He puts them over and some more and says together, they are a force, but all three, they are a family. Bivens Enterprises. Rinku and Saurav speak a few words in their native language before Bivens issues another quick threat to the Broserweights, saying they will be waiting to end the segment. I think they were talking with Fujami. They kind of look like Jinder Mahal. We go to the ring. Out first comes Dexter Lumis. The debuting Samuel Shaw. The announcer play up the mystery surrounding Lumis. Newcomer Jake Atlas is also out for his official TV debut. Hype Tom. Atlas poses in the corner as Lumis looks on. Lumis stares Atlas down. Still not blinking. Atlas charges, but Dexter sidesteps and unloads with strikes into the corner. Lumis beats Atlas around and blocks him. Then nailing a big spine buster in the middle of the ring, Lumis with a big shot to the face. Lumis picks Atlas up and rocks him with a big right hand to put him right back down. Atlas finally drops Lumis as he looks to mount offense. Lumis gets him hung up on the middle rope. Lumis runs the ropes, slides to the floor, and rocks Atlas again. Lumis comes back in for a close 2 count. In the middle of the ring, Lumis grounds Atlas now, digging his face and eye socket. We get a big leaping neck breaker as Lumis goes to the floor. Atlas runs and leaps out, nailing Lumis. Atlas for more offense, but Lumis shuts him down in the middle of the ring. With a side slam, Lumis goes right back into a choke slam for the win. Dexter wins his debut After the match, Loomis takes a few seconds before breaking the hold. He stands tall as his unique music starts back up. Go to replays. We see Keith Lee backstage preparing for the main event. Back to commercial. Back from the break, we got another teaser video for the debut of Killer Cross, which apparently is narrated by his girlfriend, Scarlett Bordeaux. Sam calls the clock in the promo a doomsday clock. I didn't see that one myself. We can look back at the recent WWE Performance Center brawl between Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. Tom hypes next week's One Final Beat match between the former DIY partners. Second chance gauntlet match, with the winner of the match advancing in the ladder match. First, the opponents are Shotzi Blackheart, Deonna Purrazzo, Zia Lee, Dakota Kai, Aya, and Kaden Carter. We go right to the ring for tonight's second chance gauntlet match. As Shotzi Blackheart comes out, winner of this match will earn the final spot in the 6-women ladder match to crown a new number 1 contender. As Deonna Purrazzo will out next. The bell rings and Purrazzo takes it to the corner and unloads with stomps as the referee warns her. Purrazzo with an early 1 count. Shotzi fights back, hits a big insecurity kick. Shotzi with more offense and a 2 count. Purrazzo makes a comeback and hits a big stomp, a big pump kick. Purrazzo stomps some more and levels Shotzi with a short arm clothesline for another 2 count. Purrazzo keeps the choke, double stomps on Shotzi's face for another 2 count. Purrazzo keeps Shotzi grounded in the middle of the ring. Purrazzo with more offense in the corner now. Shotzi rocks her in the face and goes to the second turnbuckle. Purrazzo cuts her off and climbs up with a forearm. Shotzi fights back as they brawl up high. Shotzi unloads and headbutts Purrazzo to the mat. Shotzi with a flying senton for the 3 count to advance. Purrazzo has been eliminated. Shotzi stands tall and waits for her next opponent. Music hits, out comes Zia Lee. Lee charges the ring and ducks a clothesline, and then nails a drop kick. Lee backs Shotzi off with more offense. Shotzi tries to mount offense, but Lee drops her again and has some words for her. We go to commercial with Lee standing tall. Back for the break, and Lee is unloading on Blackheart with strikes. Lee with a running shot in the corner, and then another to take down in the middle ring. Shotzi dodges the kick to the neck. Shotzi mounts offense on Lee now, going into submission. Lee quickly taps out. Lee has been eliminated. Out next comes Aya to the ring with a running kick in the corner for a 2 count. Aya argues with the referee and shows frustration. She thought she got a 3 count right off the bat. Shotzi takes advantage and works Aaliyah over with strikes. Shotzi with a big knee and a kick. Shotzi with a big suplex in the middle ring. Shotzi with the same submission she used on Lee to advance. Aya has been eliminated. Kaden Carter is your next woman out. Carter goes right to work on Shotzi. Yep, the same girl who was face Asuka on SmackDown and Raw. They tangle and Carter hits a drop kick for a 2 count. More back and forth. Shotzi drops Carter with a shot to the face. Shotzi goes to the top, but Carter cuts her off and charges with a big shot while Shotzi is hung up in the ropes. Trio woe. We go back to commercial after Blackheart gets knocked to the mat. Back to the right, and Shotzi hits a moonsault from the top for the pin and the win. Carter has been eliminated. Dakota Kai runs down next and is the final competitor. Raquel Gonzalez watches from ringside. Kai hits the ring and drops Shotzi and tries to put her away early on. Kai with more offense in a pin attempt. Kai keeps the show, puts boots to Shotzi in the corners, and the referee warns her. Kai with more offense in the corner. Kai works Shotzi over from the floor and lets Gonzalez get a cheap shot in while the referee couldn't see her as she had her back turned. Kai grounds Shotzi on the mat. Shotzi turns over into a 2 count. Kai comes right back with a pump kick for a 2 count. Kai with a running big boot in the corner for another pin attempt. Kai boots Shotzi around and talks some trash as Gonzalez looks on. Shotzi blocks a kick and takes Kai down. Kai kicks her away to avoid the submission. Kai misses in the corner, eats a series of clotheslines. Shotzi with a big kick to the face. Shotzi gets a clothesline and hits a belly back suplex. Kai rolls to the floor as Raquel consoles her for a breather. Shotzi runs the ropes and nails a suicide dive, taking them both down on the floor. Shotzi screams out and brings Kai back in the ring. Gonzalez grabs Shotzi by her hair while she's trying to return to the ring. As Kai distracts the referee, Shotzi counters Gonzalez and sends her into the steel ring steps. Shotzi comes right back into the ring, but Kai nails a big kick. Kai drops Shotzi into the go-to kick for the pin and wins the match to advance to the ladder finals. Ladder match finals. After the match, Tom confirms Kai, Tegan Knox, Chelsea Green, Mia Yim, Io Shirai, and Candice LeRae for next week's ladder match. Kai and Gonzalez stand tall over Shotzi in the ring. We see Damian Priest, that's the name I couldn't think of, as your triple threat. Damian Priest getting ready for the main event. Back to commercial. Back from break, we get a video package preview for Charlotte Flair versus NXT Women's Champion Rhea Ripley for WrestleMania 36. Kushida versus Joaquin Wilde. We go to the ring. Out comes Kushida for the next match. Joaquin Wilde is out next. Bell rings and they lock up. Going at it, trading holds on the mat. They also trade pin attempts. Kushida with an arm bar out of nowhere. Wilde resists and gets to the ropes to break it. They stand back up and go at it. Kushida with some unique offense before they trade holds again. Wilde with a big scissor takedown. Wilde takes Kushida down by his arm and holds him there. And by the way, Wilde's music is the same music he had in Impact Wrestling. Boop, 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 boop. You ever listen to his music? Yeah. The Bromance tag team. Remember that? There you go. Kushida finally counters and hits another series of moves on Wilde. Kushida drop kicks Wilde and covers for a 2 count. We go back to commercial with Kushida standing tall. Back to the ring. Wilde is now in control. Wilde drives Kushida into the mat for a 2 count. Wilde argues with the referee over the count. Wilde with a huge knee to his face for another 2 count. Wilde takes it to the corner, unloads with boots as the referee warns him, and backs off. Wilde with a big right hand. Wilde with shoulder thrust into another corner. Kushida counters and nails a stiff kick to the arm. Kushida asks the referee if Wilde is okay. Then asks Wilde himself. Wilde clutches his arm and keeps fighting back. Kushida also fights back. Wilde catches Kushida with a jawbreaker. Kushida comes back with a handspring into a back elbow. Wilde looks to go for a move, but Kushida drops him into the armbar for a submission win. After the match, Kushida stands tall with music playing. We go to replays. Kushida approaches Wilde in the middle of the ring after the replays. He offers his hand for a shake, and Wilde finally accepts it. We see Dominic Dijakovic backstage getting ready for the main event. Back to commercial. Back to the ring, we get a video for next week's Ciampa versus Gargano match. Announces hype next week's episode. We see Mackenzie Mitchell interviewing Joaquin Wilde during a commercial break as she was running out to catch up with him in the parking lot. Wilde expressed frustration over losing once again. He thought things would be different when he came to NXT. A SUV comes speeding up, almost hitting Wilde. Well, they screech about 20 to 30 feet away from him. The 2 masked men in lucha masks get out and abduct Wilde, putting him into the SUV. The SUV speeds off. It appears to be the same men who took Raul Mendoza out a few weeks ago. Triple threat for the NXT North American title, your main event. Back to commercial. Back to the break, we get a video for next week's Ciampa vs. Gargano match. Announces hype next week's episode. We see Mackenzie again. No. And we got to the ring for tonight's main event as Damian Priest makes his entrance under the spotlight. Dominic is out next. NXT North American Champion Keith Lee was out next with the title in the hand. Lee stands tall in the middle of the ring as the 2 challengers stare at him from both sides. We get formal ring introductions from Hamilton. The bell rings and here we go. Everyone sizes each other up. Priest goes for a big kick, but Lee catches him and tosses him at Dijakovic. They all go at it now. All 3 competitors clad with kicks in the middle of the ring. Knocking each other back, they size each other up again, and we go to commercial. Back to the break, Priest kicks Dijakovic away in the corner. Priest with a flatliner in the middle of the ring. Lee is down on the outside. Priest unloads on Dijakovic in the corner, beating him down. Priest mounts Dijakovic in the corner, now with more right hands. Dijakovic brings Priest out on the corner, but Priest spikes him with a DDT for a 2 count as Lee breaks up the pin just in time. Lee sends Priest out to the floor. Priest comes right back in and rocks Lee from the apron. Lee turns it around and knocks Priest into the corner. We see an NXT TakeOver logo on the big screen. The same one they had for TakeOver Tampa Bay, but without the city name. Lee climbs up with Priest for a superplex, but Priest fights him off. They trade shots up high. Lee with a bear hug. From up high, Daikoja come over and puts Lee on the shoulders. Priest leaps from the top, hits a big span kick, knocking Lee off of Daikoja's shoulders. All three are down at once again. Daikoja rocks Priest first as they get up. Lee nails him. They trade shots in the middle of the ring. Priest and Daikoja team up and hit a double choke slam to the champion in the middle of the ring. Daikoja scoots Priest for the feast your eyes, but he fights out. Priest gets Daikoja on his back and runs the ring, launching Daikoja out onto Lee. Lee sort of catches Daikoja on the floor. Priest runs the ropes and leaps out, taking Lee and Daikoja down on the floor. Well, I think he was trying to jump over, but he uses the ropes for a springboard to get the final of that. Back from Daikoja missing the moonsault, Priest chokeslams him for a 2 count in the middle of the ring. Lee is still down on the outside. Priest misses a big kick attempt. Daikoja blocks the choke jam and goes for a choke bomb, but it's also blocked. Daikoja blocks the reckoning. Lee comes in, gets Priest launched at him. Lee catches Priest and power bombs him on top of Daikoja's back for 4 times. Lee keeps hold of Priest and another huge spirit bomb in the middle of the ring for a 2 count. Daikoja breaks at the pin. All 3 competitors are down again. Lee and Daikoja get up and fight. Daikoja charges, but Lee grabs him and drives him into the mat with a big chokeslam. Lee smashes Priest in the corner. Lee goes up top, but Priest kicks him in the face. Priest with another jumping kick. Priest climbs up and rocks Lee. Priest goes for the super hurricanrana, but Lee blocks it. Lee goes for the super spirit bomb, but Priest turns it into a hurricanrana. Daikoja flies from the corner, from the other side of the ring, with a big flying elbow. Priest and Daikoja lay each other out on top of Lee, but he kicks out and saves the match. Priest and Daikoja fight on the apron, grabbing each other's throats. Lee comes over and rocks them. Lee climbs up and brings both challengers with him. They fight back. Priest and Daikoja send Lee to the mat. Daikoja goes to fly, but Priest grabs him. Daikoja kicks Priest to the floor. And Dominic goes for the corkscrew moonsault and nails it. More like the whisper of the wind. But Lee kicks out just in time. Priest goes under the ring and grabs his nightstick. After all, no rules in this match. Triple threat rules. He brings it and the referee tells him not to. Can't disqualify him. No disqualification. Daikoja dodges the stick shot and barely hits Feast Your Eyes as Priest gets a piece of the stick up on the way down. Lee runs over and sends Priest over the top rope to the floor. Lee turns back around and immediately follows up with the Big Bang catastrophe on Daikoja for the pin and retains in the middle of the ring. After the match, Lee recovers and stands tall as the music plays. We go to replays. Lee raises his title in the ring and celebrates it as a furious Priest stares him down from the outside. As Daikoja tries to recover on the floor, NXT goes off the air with USA on the USA Network. As seen in this link is your mystery abduction storyline continued during this week's NXT episode on the USA Network. Next week's NXT show saw Joaquin Wilde take a singles loss to Kushida. After the break, Mackenzie Mitchell interviewed Wilde back in the parking lot at Pulse Hill. As Wilde went on about how he was disappointed with another loss and how he expected things to be different when he came to NXT. The SUV suddenly sped up and almost hit Wilde and Mitchell, but he pulled them to safety. The 2 mystery men wearing lucha masks then hopped out of the SUV into Doug's Wilde, tossing him into the back and then speeding off. Storyline began back on March 11th in this episode when the masked men, or 2, who were affiliated with the originals, kidnapped Raul Mendoza. You can see that video. There's no word on yet who's behind the abduction or if Kushida is involved, because it's always been happening in Kushida's matches. But it's interesting that Mendoza also lost to Kushida in the match the same night that he was grabbed. This week's NXT episode on the USA Network also saw Dexter Lumis make his official TV debut, re-debut, with a win over the debuting Jake Atlas. Lumis, formerly known as Samuel Shaw, has had his character redone a bit as the announcers focus on the mystery surrounding him, as he's got a stare down the whole entire match. Lumis was defeated by Bronson Reed during his July 17th NXT episode, but he wasn't brought back until TV until this week, and this was billed as his debut. This was also Atlas' TV debut. He just made his NXT in-ring live event debut back in late January. WWE on-air talent and Sirius XM host Sam Roberts did commentary for NXT episode, calling the action for the empty NXT arena at Full Sail with Tom Phillips. Sam noted before the show that Triple H made the call to put him on the show at the last moment. He wrote, "Big night, folks, at Triple H has decided to make a dream come true and put yours truly in the NXT commentary booth tonight. Tune in for a North American Championship triple threat, a women's gauntlet match, and the last professional broadcaster behind the mic, 8 p.m. on USA, which is 7 p.m. Central." Sam then thanked everyone after the show and pointed to how he trended worldwide on Twitter. "Thanks, everybody, and I do mean everybody. What a night. Hashtag we are NXT," he tweeted. Sam calling the show was a change. At last week's episode was called by Tom and Byron. March 18th show featured Triple H and Tom. The regular announce team of Mauro Ranallo, Nigel McGuinness, and Hall of Famer Beth Phoenix hasn't been used since the March 11th episode due to the coronavirus pandemic. Dark Order's Exalted One, Brodie Lee referenced Vince McMahon on last week's Dynamite during the segment when one of his minions sneezed in front of him. As noted, McMahon is not a fan of people doing that in front of him. Lee appeared on last week's Talk of Jericho and commented about actually having to pitch ideas to the WWE chairman while he was eating. "I have pitched many things to him when he was just like chowing down on a salad or something," Lee said. "Then you hand him something and he's like, I'll look at it on the plane, and you're like, he's not going to look at those." There were times where I was told he was done eating and it was okay to go in. And you go in there and it's like, nope, he's eating again. In this video, Lee continued his Vince mannerisms by forcing his minions to call him by a specific name, Mr. Brodie. When they didn't do it, he got very mad at him. Lee, dressed in a suit, then asked the minions to say the group's phrase, "We are one." He didn't say it the right way. Lee got even angrier, throwing a glass at the wall. A second follower suddenly yawns, which got Lee's attention, and that was about it. "Is there something going on at home that you want to tell me about?" Lee said to the follower. "Is there a reason you're tired? Is there a reason you're exhausted? Nothing in the world is open. There is no reason for you to yawn in my presence. Do you understand what tiredness shows to people? It shows weakness. Are you weak? Right now you look weak to me. I can't have that within these doors. Do you understand? Do you ever yawn in my presence? Don't you ever yawn in my presence again." It was reported some people within WWE reported very upset about Lee's recent shots this week as well. And that closes out my video for this week. Thanks again. Peace out. See you on the video. If y'all know what your comments, brothers and sisters.